Okay, ChickenboneJohn here. I'm just going to talk about some new strings we've got. I've got three different guitars, well, three guitars all built the same. Here's one, and another, and another. So they're all built on the same box, the same pickup, the same neck, the same pickup height, but with three different sorts of strings on them. I'll just turn my amp on. This is just through my sessionette with everything set in the middle, no reverb, and clean. So here's the first guitar. I don't know what strings I've got on here. I've got them tagged up, but I'm not sure which ones these are. Okay, so that's guitar number one, or string set number one. Here's number two. Okie doke. And here is string set number three. Okay, I'm finding it very difficult to tell these apart. I think there may be some subtle differences, but we'll just go through what we've got here. And let's have a look at the first guitar. Okay, this is done with one of our new sets of strings, which are by Newtone. They're made in the UK, and these have got conventional hexagonal chords. Okay, that's our conventional hexagonal chords. Guitar number two, and this is again, these are Newtone strings, but these have got the round core. Okay, and by default the third one must be, yep, it's our regular D'Addario XL strings. Okay, I'm not sure if this will come across on the video. I'm not, well, I may just put a bit of distortion on, but I think that really masks the sound. What you're hearing is the basic tone of the guitar. All of these strings are the same gauge. They're 46, 30, 22. That's what we call our balanced tension set. So in essence, the D'Addarios and the Newtone hex are the hex core are the same construction. The big difference in construction is with the Newtone round core string, because that's a sort of more traditional, old school way of making a string. The wrapping, the reason that you get the hex core, I think, is so that the sharp corners on the hexagon shape of the wire allows the wrap to bite onto the corners to stop it, or help stop it slipping. What it does mean is there's a little void in between the flats of the hexagon and the round wrap. With a round core string, obviously you get full contact all the way down between the wrap and the core. The subsequent result of that, I think, certainly in terms of the feel, the round cores come to pitch at slightly less tension, so they're a wee bit easier to play. So that's my that's the D'Addario hex core, the conventional hex core string. Okay, so I'm playing that just acoustically. I'll unplug that anyway. See what this one is. This is the Newtone hex core. Feels pretty much the same. And here's the Newtone with the round core. It feels a wee bit softer under the fingers. Not so soft that you'd think you'd changed the gauge and gone down a gauge, but just subtly different. I don't know if you can hear the difference acoustically. If we plug this in and put some dirt on the amp, I've changed the channel so I've got a more overdrive on it. Okay, that's the round cores. Make sure we're on the same setting on the guitar. That's the D'Addario with a hex core, and make sure I've got these the right way around. Sorry, that's the round core which we just heard, I think. Okay, so this is the Newtone hex cores. Still confused, but this is the round core just to finish off with. Okie doke. So there we go. That's a sort of, excuse me, I'll just turn that off. It's a sort of blind test. As I say, we've been using the D'Addario strings for a long time. They're American made, they're a great quality. We don't use cheap strings on our guitars. Even on our make and play 50 quid for the day workshop sessions, we still use good quality strings. We always use D'Addario. I started off using cheap Chinese strings, and we find that they broke a lot more often than the D'Addarios. When you've got somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, bringing them up to pitch, the D'Addarios seem to cope with a lot more abuse than a cheap Chinese one. Crazy thing is, with some of the Chinese strings, they actually were not long enough to put on a guitar from here, which, you know, is quite a long amount of string past the tailstock compared to like a Fender or a Gibson style bridge, and sometimes the reach here is quite long. So some of the strings weren't even long enough, and when we took them out of the package, you could see they'd still got a lot of what I call set on them. They're still very curved. When you take a good quality string out of the packet, it'll be virtually straight. So as I say, we've been using the D'Addarios for a long time, but I wanted to find an alternative and a British company, and I'm very pleased that Newtone have come up with these strings. So as I say, we're doing them in the same gauges, but with the alternative of, we have two alternatives. We have the hex core and the trad round core. I'll leave it to you what you think of the sound difference. Maybe you want to tell me. I don't want to sort of say, oh yeah, this one is darker, this one is brighter, this one is more sustained, this was more attack. I find it very difficult to tell. Other than all I would say is they all sound great, they all feel great. The quality of the construction is very good. You know, the string, the windings and everything, nice and tight. The way the ball ends are put on, they're all great. So the quality, I think, on whether they're the Newtone or the D'Addarios, you know, the quality is there. I think we're gonna try our new Newtone strings on our own guitars and see how we get on with them. As I say, I think that the main difference with the round cores is the feel is a slightly softer feel. So the cool thing is you can keep your familiar string gauges, but they're just a little bit softer to play, which is great if you're doing fretted work. It means if you want, you can bring the action a wee bit higher, so you're not risking clattering the bottleneck onto the frets, and yet they're still going to be soft enough to play. Okie doke, that's enough for me. Bye for now.